Hello, hello. How are we all? How do I change the delay? Two seconds, guys. Right. How is everyone? Hi, John. How are you? So, we're going to chat for a second. Hopefully, some more people fill in. John, while you're here, can I just check that I've got the delay correct? So, if I say test test after 3, can you type test back so I can sort of check the delay? So 1, 2, 3, test test. Hopefully the delay is okay. Hi Nigel, how are you? So the stream, it's not going to be super long today. It's going to be, well, it's not going to be the full hour, and it's not going to be carving, because there's not really anything to carve at the moment. I'm sort of caught up on everything aside from a bit of hammering and clearing out, and I'd like to, hopefully it'll work. I've set up a couple of polls, and we're going to show off the potential options for Patreon prints and discuss that a little bit. Cool. Cheers for that, John. So cool. No, it's just I have a slight delay set on my end for latency in case anything drops. Then there's there's usually a 20-second period, a delay on my end, but I should have set that to 0 now so that we can get sort of fairly quick feedback. So first of all, I'll start talking and I can sort of repeat myself as people file in. So for anyone that is currently has been a Patreon over the past year, thank you very much. Hopefully the final prints are going out to have been received by the people that have hit that subscription, and the next lot will be following out over the next few months. But it's time to look ahead now to the next series. And I don't know who has seen the post I put up yesterday, but we're going to change it up slightly. And you, as a Patreon, you will now be receiving 2 prints across the year. But these 2 prints are going to be much more detailed and a much higher standard as opposed to the more simplified, small versions that have been received over this past 12 months. They are going to be full-scale ukiyo-e reproductions. They're going to be at a very slightly reduced size because I can't get or work on full Oban blocks, but they will be, if I can open the drawer one-handed, so last year's print was of a size about this. The coming year's prints will be of around this size. So actual printed area, we're about 50%, if not more, larger. The amount of blocks and impressions and the amount of carving will obviously increase in line with that. And to accompany that, there will be Patreon exclusive videos out once a month, detailing parts of the process, more in-depth specific things, as people have been asking for that. So each print will obviously take 6 months to make and produce, and that will be the only thing we will see on stream is the production of those prints. That's the printing, that's every single aspect of that process is going to be streamed on here. So for anyone that's not a Patreon, you will still see the entirety of the process, but the benefits of being a Patreon is that each month you will get an extra video that will include a piece of historical information based around the series and the artist, and going in depth on some more techniques and processes and stuff. I am currently trying to talk with a museum close to me that has a very good collection of this particular series, to see if I can get in and get really good, perfect high resolution scans, along with some better background information and sort of historical facts and stuff that aren't just written in all the books that we've all read before. But let's show off the first selection. So in a second I will post a poll. Hopefully the poll will work in chat, and you guys can then vote on either print 1, which is the Wisteria print, the Tenjin Shrine one here, or the second print, which is titled Maples Mama or something like that. And these, as I said, these will be produced in full. They will be produced at at a very slightly reduced size. Hi George, that's fine. I'm just explaining everything that I wrote in the post yesterday. So shall we try and post this? First of all, I need to make a correction. The post I made yesterday saying these were from the Tokaido series, they are not. They are in fact from the 100 Views of Edo series by Hiroshige. Personally, I very strongly favour the Tenjin Shrine one, the one with the wisteria and the bridge. That's sort of one of the prints that made me want to produce Japanese woodblock prints, and I've sort of been looking for a reason to do this print for a long time. Another thing, again, this is up to you guys completely. I would quite like to, seeing as we're 6 months apart, I would like to sort of keep a vague theme of sort of summer slash fall for the first one, then winter slash spring for the second. So this is the first print of the batch that we're going to be voting on. Hopefully this poll will work. So the command that you will type, you should get, it should explain in chat, but the command will be !vote 1 for the Tenjin Shrine and !vote 2 for the Maple one. Yeah. So yeah, the Tenjin Shrine one's like classic. So yes, let's see if this poll posts in chat. If it does not, oh, okay. So it explains there, !vote 1 or !vote 2. We have 4 minutes to conclude voting. Probably don't need, seeing as we only have 5 people in, I will most likely change the voting for the next one. But yeah, these are going to be produced at a very slightly reduced size. If anyone has seen David's Choice video, I think it's number 11 or something, where he shows off the Tokaido series and he shows the slightly reduced versions and things like that. So hopefully I'll be able to confer with Dave slightly on it to sort of get some pointers on how I would go about if I do have to indeed I'm not sure, Nigel. Just try copying and pasting the let me check in the thing. I don't think you need to do the space. I don't think so. It's registering votes though. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to talk with Dave and sort of get some pointers and things. Hi, Raphael. How are you? Oh, look, we're all voting for my favourite. Thank you. Yeah, the framing of the other one's kind of a little bit off, but I do sort of quite like that viewpoint of looking through. Okay, cool. So you're gonna get a reproduction then, George. And this theme of 2 prints a year is most likely going to carry on indefinitely now. We will float around a few different themes. I've spoken with Jed, and I've got a very long list of images now that are sort of planned out pretty continuously over the next few years. So by working on this for 6 months, I'm really going to be able to learn a lot. I'm going to be able to provide you guys with a lot of additional content that isn't just me sat carving at the bench and talking for an hour twice a week. We're going to be able to expand a lot on onto the subject matter and the sort of background of the prints, and I'm hoping to be able to sort of do some comparisons of what these areas look like now, and sort of try and do some sort of historical deep dive on the sort of the correlations between the two. Anna, as long as you're in the Hokusai tier, so that's the $10 a month, you will receive this print after you've hit 6 months of subscription on that. So that will be from now, well, whenever you subscribe to, until you hit 6 months. If you're already in Hokusai tier now and you've been receiving prints, then on January the 5th you will receive this print. The videos and stuff that I previously spoke about, for anyone that's not that's only just come into chat, I'll be exclusively streaming this entire process, so you'll see everything from me tracing all the way to me printing. I'll find out a way to make those tracings slightly more interesting. But the videos where I give some historical background and we dive deeper into some techniques, maybe like Bokashi printing, sizing, color preparation, pasting down things, stuff like that, coupled with those historical aspects, they are going to be exclusive to Patreons. There'll be unlisted videos on YouTube that only Patreons will then be able to access. So, voting has closed and we have a winner. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1 on the first print. So the first print is the Tenjin Shrine, which is my personal favourite. So this is the options for the winter / spring print. I know you'll be receiving the first print in January, but this will be the second print that you will receive. So whilst we're doing that, I will post the poll for the second print. So the first one with the lantern hanging down is vote 1 for Asakusa. The second one with the small mountain area is Meguro, which is vote 2, and the final one with the large body of water in the middle is Yushima, which is vote 3. So vote 1, 2, or 3 for the. The Asakusa one. I actually own a really good copy of this print, so I will be able to make the tracing from that. And I'm sort of looking to tackle different techniques here. We've got sort of reduced colour palettes. So those subtle greys and blues and stuff have to be really considered and applied very well, especially those darker gradations and stuff. My personal favourite is number 2, the Meguro one, which is probably the harder of the ones to make. I do also like the Asakusa one. It's pretty classic. Everyone's seen it and knows it. Anyone that's been to Japan has also been there. Everyone's got the photo underneath the Kaminarimon. And again, that's going to be a completely different style of carving. Being able to carve those smooth thin lines and have everything joined through, especially on the lantern and stuff, and to not fill those snowflakes and stuff up in the background is going to be would be fun to do. This is how we do it here. We're a democracy, and I'm sure at some point most of these, if you've voted for one that doesn't get picked, then I can assure you that somewhere down the line that print will be produced. There's too many prints in this series that I want to make, and I am very torn between numbers 1 and 2. So I would say, regardless of which one gets picked, the other one is going to, I'm 99% sure the other one will probably get made next year. And we'll probably continue on with this series. We've got a minute and a half left on voting. And print 1 is currently in the lead with 3 votes to 2. In a minute I can try and show off. So these 2 prints, they're going to be done 2 a year, because I want to be able to give you guys more content. Just seeing carving and printing and stuff it's all well and good, but it's the same thing. So I want to be able to give you guys more content and try and sort of broaden the scope of what we're doing. But this series, this format is going to run indefinitely, of this 2 prints a year. These views of Edo, I can see us dipping in and out of this particular series of 100 prints for a long time. There's a lot of Kuniyoshi prints that me and Jed picked out that will most likely be made next year. We'll probably flip between the 2, between this series and a Kuniyoshi series. It could even be that me and Jed end up doing some of those prints ourselves. So let's be clear, just quickly, vote 1 was for Asakusa, vote 2 was for, so I'll wait till they come up on the screen. So the image on screen now is vote 1, which is the Asakusa Kaminarimon. Vote 2 is for the print that's on screen now, and vote 3 is for the final one. So can I just confirm with everyone that voted that that's in fact what their vote went for, was the Asakusa one? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we have 4 to 2 in the chat at the moment in favour of Asakusa. So hopefully I explained that in the correct manner, and that is in fact what we voted for. Brilliant. So I'm sure I showed off my the print anyway previously, but we can show it off again, seeing as we're going to be making it. So this here is the Asakusa one. You can see the size itself, so we are reducing quite a lot. But there's nothing in here that is going to cause any substantial issues with prints this size. It's scaling down. Even these very small figures in the back are just going to become sort of nondescript blobs as they are anyway, as long as they vaguely resemble a human form. So George has changed his vote, so we have a tie. How do we proceed now? Now that we have a tie for the second print, what do we? How do we proceed from that? Does anyone have any suggestions? Can I reduce these slightly? We'll get them side by side then. I'm the tiebreaker. Shall I make it a surprise? Flip a coin. That's not a bad idea. What can I flip? I don't have a coin. Yeah, see, that's not a bad idea. Number one. This is the terrible idea. Do I have a coin? I do not. I think... Eric, cast your vote. Number one. So we'll wait for it to come back up quickly. Let me get rid of it. So number one is the print that you see on screen now of Asakusa. And number two is the Bridge in Winter. So if we wait for it to come round again. Oh, sorry, Eric, we're yeah. So Asakusa. So we have Temple. Or Bridge. So Eric, Temple or Bridge? Temple in Asakusa or Bridge in Snow? Number one, Asakusa. Is that correct, Eric? Is that your final answer? The entire fate of this series is resting upon your shoulders now. Temple it is. Asakusa Temple it is. That's it then. That's them decided. Are you okay with that, George? George, you are a Patreon yourself. You can... I was nervous about giving people choice because I don't want to disappoint anyone. But I can assure you, the other prints, especially the bridge one here, will be getting made at some point. It's too good not to have a go at. So if I delete these now, we can show the two winners. Eric has spoken. Let me just add the two images. So we have winner number 1. And we have winner number 2. So these are our two successful candidates. Yeah, so these are the two prints that you as Patreons will be receiving over the course of the year. I will do my absolute best to replicate these images as close as possible using everything I've learned. We're going to take our time and we're going to make sure that these prints are of a standard that we can be really proud of. Both of these designs in this series mean a lot to me. It was the first things I ever saw, and I had a book that had every single one of the prints in, and every Saturday I used to go and wait for Lucy to finish work and go and sit in Oxford and just read through the book cover to cover and just stare at the pictures. So this series really, and every one of these prints means a lot to me, and they're sort of the reason why I wanted to start making prints. And the Asakusa one I feel is quite special because it's sort of could see it as like the gateway to sort of where the home of where these prints and stuff were made, because that's the district where a lot of the workshops were. It's probably the current home of woodblock prints, with Dave's shop being there, and it's something that everyone sees when they go over to Japan. So I'm happy with what we've got. I hope everyone else is. I hope if yours didn't get picked that you're not too disappointed. I will be making a web page and stuff detailing this with links and things, and over the next week or couple of weeks or so I'll be making an introductory video to the series, and hopefully the current situation allows for me to be able to get into the museum at Oxford to be able to speak with the doctor, Dr. Pollard there, and get some information and stuff. See if we can find as close to one of the earliest copies that we can make, so we can try and make a really true reproduction, a true representation of what these prints are. And where possible, I will be using the same pigments and things. The only difference is I'm not using that yellow, because the yellow's too toxic. I don't want to be touching that yellow. But all the other colours will be exactly as they were. And I'm really excited for this. I can't wait for it. So Thursday now will be we're probably going to be carrying on. We're either going to be starting the tracings dependent on what's happening. If I can get a good scan of my own version of the Asakusa print, because I know that one's old, then we'll start the tracing on that, and yeah, we'll go from there. So does anyone have, before we wrap up, does anyone have any questions regarding this series, or how it's going to be made, or anything, questions, or I know. Oh, I've got a question. So I've had a small chat box running here in the corner. How do you guys feel about me keeping this chat box here for the foreseeable? Or does our chat not run fast enough to? I will not be doing the Howl's Moving Castle. I don't know how much I can say about what's being done there. I don't know if Jed's announced things. I've been given one series, which is the Evangelion one, and I'm fairly sure someone else has been given the Ghibli ones, because there's one previous to the Howl's print. I don't want to announce anything that Jed hasn't already mentioned, but I've been given a series of 3 prints that I'm currently working on. So I don't think, unless something drastic happens, I won't be not to have a chat box. That's fine. I only put it up for the purpose of doing this, so that we could sort of see where the votes and stuff were going, but we don't have to have it. It probably detracts more from what we're doing anyway. But yeah, as I said, unless anything drastic happens, I probably won't be doing the Ghibli prints. And even if I were, it's not going to be till almost the end of the year anyway. We've got a cool, I think we've got a cool little Star Wars one coming up coming up towards the end of the year anyway. Cool. So I'm gonna turn my fan back on now, because it's like 30 degrees in England and I'm way too English for this type of heat. George, one thing I can say, I think the Patreon series next year is going to be right up your alley. It's going to be very much your kind of thing, if I can tease that 12 months in advance. Yeah, I agree, John. Yeah, I think it will be distracting. Plus, we only have like 7 to 14 people in chat, and I think it's fine for doing something like this, but I think that's gonna I might tease it a little bit more. I might have to ask your opinion on some of the stuff for it later on in the year anyway, George. Some of the background and things anyway. But that's for another time. This is our focus now, and this is what we have lined up for the year. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to produce some videos for you, to get back into sort of the research and historical side of this, and yeah, see, I've hooked him for another year now. That was my plan all along. I'm going to need a lot of George's help with this anyway, so with some of the sort of like the meta context things. But yeah, I can't wait to get going on this. Hopefully this coming Thursday. Hopefully this coming Thursday we'll be starting. If we're not, we'll find something to do. And we'll start on next Tuesday. But that's going to be it for this evening, guys. We almost dragged it out for an hour. So thank you very much for all of your help and your support, guys, in choosing this series, and it's very much appreciated. You guys accepting that I sort of changed the format up slightly with this. But yeah, so everyone have a great week. I will see you all again on Thursday. Stay safe. If anyone has any further questions, you can either message me directly on Patreon or through Instagram. There is a post currently up on Patreon that gives a brief outline. I will be detailing it a little bit further. I've got to change the tiers and stuff so that any new subscriptions will so any new subscriptions will understand, because it currently refers to the previous series. That's fine, Anna. Thank you for your participation. But everyone have a great week, and I will see you all again on Thursday. Take care, everyone.